Okay, I'm going to show you some different power meters that cyclists and triathletes use to measure how hard they're working during cycling. There's three main options: crank-based, wheel-based or hub-based, and pedal-based. Those are the three options. I'll show you what they look like. Then there's also smart trainers. I'll show you that as well, that measure power, and that's for an indoor bike. And that smart trainer talks to a computer program that talks to an interface that you can set the intensity to ride different types of courses. All right, so we're going to look at each of the different power meters. Remember, power is rate of work done, or it's how fast we're transforming energy from one form to another. Power during cycling is going to be very closely related to heart rate. Although there are some unique aspects that power gives us as a cyclist and triathlete, and there's some unique aspects that heart rate gives us, and we have to often figure out which one of those metrics to use to gauge intensity during exercise. All right, let me show you some power meters. Okay, this is a crank-based power meter right here. This is the sensor that's going to measure the torque that's being placed on the crank. This is what's called a dual side power meter because I have a sensor on this crank and I have a sensor on the other crank. It's right in there. Let's see that. So there's a sensor on each side to measure power for right and left cranks. Okay, so this is a crank-based system. The advantage of a crank-based system is I can change out my rear wheel and I still have the same power meter for the bike. Now, another option is to use a pedal-based system. These are power pedals. I would change my pedals out here for these, and this would measure power from each side again. So this would be a power meter for the left pedal, and then this is the power meter for the right pedal. And this is the actual sensor right here, and it's also measuring torque, and then it's calculating power based upon the torque and based upon how fast the angular velocity is of the cranks. The advantage of this is it's interfaced with the pedals, so it's a pretty direct measure of what the person's doing. The crank-based, there's still this pedal interface between what the person's doing and ultimately what's measured here at the crank. Pedal power meters are becoming more common. You can switch these easily between different bikes. So if I have different bikes, I can take these off this bike really quickly and then put them on another bike. These cranks are not easy to change between bikes. Okay, the other power meter, those are the two. The other power meter system is a hub-based system. It's this one right here. So this is in a rear wheel. In the axle of the rear wheel, the chain obviously wraps around here, and this is measuring power based upon the rear hub. All right, now the advantage of this is very directly related to what's happening at the propulsion part of the wheel, because obviously the propulsion force would be acting down here at the bottom of the rear wheel. So this hub is closest to that. And there is some energy lost between the crank, the chain, and the rear hub. All right, so there are differences between power measured at the pedal, if I put a pedal on here, the power measured at a crank, and the power measured at the hub. Now this is the other type of power measuring device I mentioned. This is a smart trainer, and this trainer has a power meter in it as well and measures power while biking indoors. It then communicates with a computer program, and then you can ride simulated courses that will adjust the intensity based upon a hill, or based upon whether you're drafting someone, or other factors that would influence how hard it is to exercise. You can ultimately equip your rider online with the best gear to have the least amount of resistance forces, from aero drag forces to rolling resistance. Okay, so those are the three power meter systems: crank-based, pedal-based, hub-based in the rear wheel. The advantage of the hub-based system is it's pretty close to the propulsion force for the bike. The disadvantage is if I change my wheels out, I need a power meter for each wheel. So triathletes and cyclists will typically have racing wheels, and then they'll have training wheels. And so you're going to need a power meter in each of those, and that can get a little expensive. All right, that's it. Thank you.